Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Induce into action by using one's charm. Have and exert influence or effect. The artist's work influenced the young painter. Shape or influence. Give direction to. A cognitive factor that tends to have an effect on what you do. Her wishes had a great influence on his thinking. A power to affect persons or events, especially power based on prestige, etc. Used her parents' influence to get the job. Causing something without any direct or apparent effort. One having power to influence another. She was the most important influence in my life. The effect of one thing, or person, on another. The influence of mechanical action. Attractiveness that interests or pleases or stimulates. Induce into action by using one's charm. She charmed him into giving her all his money. A verbal formula believed to have magical force. Inscribed around its base as a charm in Balinese. Control by magic spells, as by practicing witchcraft. Something believed to bring good luck. Attract. Cause to be enamored. Physics. One of the 6 flavors of quark. Protect through supernatural powers or charms. Induce into action by using one's charm. Provoke someone to do something through, often false or exaggerated, promises or persuasion. He lured me into temptation. Dispose or incline or entice to. We were tempted by the delicious-looking food. Give rise to a desire by being attractive or inviting. The window displays tempted the shoppers. Try presumptuously. Saint Anthony was tempted in the desert. Try to seduce. Have and exert influence or effect. Make uniform. Work the clay until it is soft. Perform as expected when applied. This old radio doesn't work anymore. Be employed. Is your husband working again? Applying the mind to learning and understanding a subject, especially by reading. Mastering a second language requires a lot of work. Have and exert influence or effect. The artist's work influenced the young painter. Make something, usually for a specific function. Cause to happen or to occur as a consequence. I cannot work a miracle. The occupation for which you are paid. A lot of people are out of work. Cause to work. He is working his servants hard. Find the solution to a problem or question, or understand the meaning of. This unpleasant situation isn't going to work itself out. A product produced or accomplished through the effort or activity or agency of a person or thing. It is not regarded as one of his more memorable works. Have an effect or outcome, often the one desired or expected. The voting process doesn't work as well as people thought. Use or manipulate to one's advantage. She knows how to work the system. Proceed along a path. Work one's way through the crowd. Prepare for crops. Shape, form, or improve a material. Work stone into tools. A place where work is done. He arrived at work early today. Cause to undergo fermentation. The vintner worked the wine in big oak vats. The total output of a writer or artist, or a substantial part of it. Picasso's work can be divided into periods. Give a workout to. My personal trainer works me hard. Go sour or spoil. The wine worked. Activity directed toward making or doing something. She checked several points needing further work. Arrive at a certain condition through repeated motion. The stitches of the hem worked loose after she wore the skirt many times. Behave in a certain way when handled. This dough does not work easily. Cause to operate or function. This pilot works the controls. Exert oneself by doing mental or physical work for a purpose or out of necessity. I will work hard to improve my grades. Gratify and charm, usually in order to influence. The political candidate worked the crowds. Move in an agitated manner. His fingers worked with tension. Move into or onto. Work the raisins into the dough. Operate in a certain place, area, or specialty. She works the nightclubs. Operate in or through. Physics. A manifestation of energy. The transfer of energy from one physical system to another expressed as the product of a force and the distance through which it moves a body in the direction of that force. Work equals force times distance. Proceed towards a goal or along a path or through an activity. Work your way through every problem or task. Provoke or excite. The rock musician worked the crowd of young girls into a frenzy. Decide upon or fix definitely. Reach, make, or come to a decision about something. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Establish after a calculation, investigation, experiment, survey, or study. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Experience often determines ability. Fix conclusively or authoritatively. Settle conclusively. Come to terms. Fix in scope. Fix the boundaries of. The tree determines the border of the property. A distinctive nature, character, or type. A leader in the mold of her predecessors. A dish or dessert that is formed in or on a mold. A lobster mold. A fungus that produces a superficial growth on various kinds of damp or decaying organic matter. Make something, usually for a specific function. She molded the rice balls carefully. Container into which liquid is poured to create a given shape when it hardens. Sculpture produced by molding. The process of becoming mildewed. Form by pouring, e.g., wax or hot metal, into a cast or mold. Form in clay, wax, etc. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Mold public opinion. The distinctive form in which a thing is made. Become moldy. Spoil due to humidity. The furniture molded in the old house. Loose soil rich in organic matter. Fit tightly, follow the contours of. The dress molds her beautiful figure. Restrain the emission of sound, fluid, etc. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Bring into conformity with rules or principles or usage. Impose regulations. We cannot regulate the way people dress. Fix or adjust the time, amount, degree, or rate of. Regulate the temperature. The visual appearance of something or someone. A perceptual structure. Make something, usually for a specific function. Shape a figure. A concrete representation of an otherwise nebulous concept. Any spatial attributes, especially as defined by outline. He could barely make out their shapes. The state of good health, especially in the phrases in condition, or in shape, or out of condition, or out of shape. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Alternative names for the body of a human being. The spatial arrangement of something is distinct from its substance. Geometry is the mathematical science of shape. The supreme headquarters that advises NATO on military matters and oversees all aspects of the Allied Command Europe. Give shape or form to. Shape the dough. Win approval or support for. Cause somebody to adopt a certain position, belief, or course of action. Twist somebody's arm. You can't persuade me to buy this ugly vase. The violent interaction of individuals or groups entering into combat. Have an effect upon. Influencing strongly. A forceful consequence, a strong effect. The book had an important impact on my thinking. Press or wedge together, pack together. The striking of one body against another. A distinguishing style. This room needs a woman's touch. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Consume. She didn't touch her food all night. The event of something coming in contact with the body. He longed for the touch of her hand. Be relevant to. A suggestion of some quality. There was a touch of sarcasm in his tone. Have an effect upon. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. At his touch the room filled with lights. Be equal to in quality or ability. Your performance doesn't even touch that of your colleagues. A communicative interaction. He got in touch with his colleagues. A slight attack of illness. He has a touch of rheumatism. Affect emotionally. I was touched by your kind letter of sympathy. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Only sight and touch enable us to locate objects in the space around us. Tamper with. Don't touch my CDs. To extend as far as. The chair must not touch the wall. A slight but appreciable amount. This dish could use a touch of garlic. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The two buildings touch. The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. She likes the touch of silk on her skin. Color lightly. Cause to be in brief contact with. He touched his toes to the horse's flanks. Comprehend. He could not touch the meaning of the poem. Deal with. Usually used with a form of negation. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Deftness in handling matters. He has a master's touch. Make physical contact with, come in contact with. She never touched her husband. Perceive via the tactile sense. Helen Keller felt the physical world by touching people and objects around her. The act of soliciting money, as a gift or loan. He watched the beggar trying to make a touch. The feel of mechanical action. This piano has a wonderful touch. Have an effect upon. Press, drive, or impel someone to action or completion of an action. Be relevant to. Have an effect upon. Keep or maintain in unaltered condition. Cause to remain or last. Have an effect upon. Will the new rules affect me? Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Connect closely and often incriminatingly. This new ruling affects your business. Make believe with the intent to deceive. Act physically on. Have an effect upon. The medicine affects my heart rate. The conscious subjective aspect of feeling or emotion. Restore by replacing a part or putting together what is torn or broken. Be relevant to. Have an effect upon. Refer to or discuss briefly. Doctor's degree in osteopathy. Carry out or perform an action. Carry on or function. We could do with a little more help around here. Be sufficient. Be adequate, either in quality or quantity. Will $100 do? Create or design, often in a certain way. Get something done. An uproarious party. Behave in a certain manner. Show a certain behavior. Conduct or comport oneself. What makes her do this way? Give rise to. Cause to happen or occur, not always intentionally. Proceed or get along. How is she doing in her new job? Engage in. Do research. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Arrange attractively. Spend time in prison or in a labor camp. The syllable naming the first, tonic, note of any major scale and psalmization. Travel or traverse, a distance. This car does 150 miles per hour. Put in order or neaten. Make the bed. Eliminate urine. Have a bowel movement. Institute, enact, or establish. Make laws. Create by artistic means. Make by combining materials and parts. Give certain properties to something. Don't make this into a big deal. Create or design, often in a certain way. Charge with a function. Charge to be. Induce to have sex. Head into a specified direction. Achieve a point or goal. earn on some commercial or business transaction. Earn as salary or wages. How much do you make a month in your new job? Represent fictitiously, as in a play, or pretend to be or act like. She makes like an actress. Proceed along a path. Make one's way into the forest. The act of mixing cards haphazardly. Reach a goal. Make the first team. Organize or be responsible for. Have, throw, or make a party. Give rise to. Cause to happen or occur, not always intentionally. Make a stir. Make, formulate, or derive in the mind. Make an estimate. Reach a destination, either real or abstract. Engage in. Make love, not war. Cause to do. Cause to act in a specified manner. Prepare for eating by applying heat. Can you make me an omelet? A recognizable kind. What make of car is that? To compose or represent. This makes a fine introduction. Make or cause to be or to become. Make a mess in one's office. Create or manufacture a man-made product. Act in a certain way so as to acquire. Make friends. Add up to. 4 and 4 make 8. Amount to. This salary increase makes no difference to my standard of living. Appear to begin an activity. Assure the success of. A good review by this critic will make your play. Behave in a certain way. Make merry. Be or be capable of being changed or made into. He makes a great host. Be suitable for. Wood makes good furniture. Calculate as being. I make the height about 100 feet. Carry out or commit. Make a mistake. Cause to be enjoyable or pleasurable. Make my day. Change from one form into another. Make water into wine. Compel or make somebody or something to act in a certain way. Heat makes you sweat. Consider as being. Constitute the essence of. Clothes make the man. Develop into. He will make a splendid father. Favor the development of. Practice makes the winner. Form by assembling individuals or constituents. Gather and light the materials for. Make a fire. Make by shaping or bringing together constituents. Make a dress. Perform or carry out. Make a decision. Reach in time. Undergo fabrication or creation. This wool makes into a nice sweater. Any entity that produces an effect or is responsible for events or results. Give rise to. Cause to happen or occur, not always intentionally. Cause a commotion. A comprehensive term for any proceeding in a court of law whereby an individual seeks a legal remedy. Cause to do. Cause to act in a specified manner. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. They worked in the cause of world peace. A justification for something existing or happening. He had no cause to complain. Events that provide the generative force that is the origin of something. They are trying to determine the cause of the crash. A determining or causal element or factor. Education as an important determinant of one's outlook on life. The site on the surface of an antigen molecule to which an antibody attaches itself. Having the power or quality of deciding. The determinative, or determinant, battle. A square matrix used to solve simultaneous equations. A determining or causal element or factor. One of a limited class of noun modifiers that determine the reference of noun phrases. Having the power or quality of deciding. The determinative, or determinant, battle. An argument that is conclusive. A determining or causal element or factor. One of a limited class of noun modifiers that determine the reference of noun phrases. An argument that is conclusive. A determining or causal element or factor. A determining or causal element or factor. Energy made available by the flow of electric charge through a conductor. The power went out around midnight. Of a government or government official, holding an office means being in power. During his first year in power. A state powerful enough to influence events throughout the world. A mathematical notation indicating the number of times a quantity is multiplied by itself. A very wealthy or powerful businessman. Possession of the qualities, especially mental qualities, required to do something or get something done. Danger heightened his powers of discrimination. Possession of controlling influence. The deterrent power of nuclear weapons. One possessing or exercising power or influence or authority. The mysterious presence of an evil power. Physical strength. Physics. The rate of doing work, measured in watts, equals joule per second. Supply the force or power for the functioning of. The gasoline powers the engines. Possession of controlling influence. His powerfulness was concealed by a gentle facade. The act of causing something to happen. The act of causing something to happen. Of a law, having legal validity. Group of people willing to obey orders. A public force is necessary to give security to the rights of citizens. Physical energy or intensity. He hit with all the force he could muster. A put-out of a base runner who is required to run. The put-out is accomplished by holding the ball while touching the base to which the runner must advance before the runner reaches that base. The shortstop got the runner at second on a force. To cause to do through pressure or necessity, by physical, moral or intellectual means. She forced him to take a job in the city. Force into or from an action or state, either physically or metaphorically. Urge or force, a person, to an action, constrain or motivate. Move with force. Impose urgently, importunately, or inexorably. She forced her diet fads on him. Squeeze like a wedge into a tight space. A unit that is part of some military service. He sent Caesar a force of 6,000 men. one possessing or exercising power or influence or authority. May the force be with you. An act of aggression, as one against a person who resists. He may accomplish by craft in the long run what he cannot do by force and violence in the short one. Take by force. A group of people having the power of effective action. He joined forces with a band of adventurers. A powerful effect or influence. The force of his eloquence easily persuaded them. Do forcibly, exert force. Don't force it. Physics, the influence that produces a change in a physical quantity. Force equals mass times acceleration. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. His decision had depressing consequences for business. Having important effects or influence. Decisions of great consequence are made by the president himself. The outcome of an event especially is relative to an individual. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Circulate or distribute or equip with. Issue a new uniform to the children. Come out of. Water issued from the hole in the wall. The act of issuing printed materials. One of a series published periodically. She found an old issue of the magazine in her dentist's waiting room. An opening that permits escape or release. The canyon had only one issue. The becoming visible. Prepare an issue for public distribution or sale. Supplies, as food or clothing or ammunition, issued by the government. The immediate descendants of a person. He died without issue. The act of providing an item for general use or for official purposes, usually in quantity. A new issue of stamps. Make out an issue. Some situation or event that is thought about. An important question that is in dispute and must be settled. The issue could be settled by requiring public education for everyone. Bring out an official document, such as a warrant.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.